Oh, finally. Hi! It actually worked. That took way longer than it should have. Okay, is it working? Yellow? Hello? It is working. Oh god, that's loud. Oh god, that's loud. Oh god, that's loud. Oh no, now it's just repeating. Oh no, now it's just repeating. Okay. Well, it's working, so. Cool, now I can mute this. Okay. Do not have anything from my old one. Yeah, I missed this game by like 2 weeks because I was on vacation when it came out. Oh, nice. Yeah, I was on vacation when it came out, so I couldn't play it. Okay, so we already played that, so we're just gonna go over here now. Alright. Dark deep sky of copper night stretches out above you, usually shrouded in low, gray, snowy clouds or covered in a murky, toxic fog. It hangs over the lifeless planet like a hood, a dome that shields a dead piece of rock from the vast, vacant darkness of space. However, it is unclear whether it traps those remaining on the planet inside, or conversely protects them from unknown dangers from without. Okay. Yet right now, the sky looks completely different. There are no clouds, no toxic smog, only the dark blue of the heavens, the massive glowing circle of the moon, and hundreds of simmering points of starlight. The beauty of the universe unfolding before you is breathtaking, forcing you to forget absolutely everything and dissolve into its monumental grandeur. Man, this probably look beautiful. If only we could see it. Incredible. Oh, hello again. I forgot you were here. Katie says softly, almost in a whisper. Like you, she gazes at the sky, unable to look away. Oh, hi. You don't answer out loud, only nodding silently. All the thoughts and anxieties that haunted you all day have finally left you in peace. You stare upward at the sky, mesmerized. I thought it was going to be clear today, but I didn't expect it to be this beautiful, Katie continues. Well, shall we go? Yeah, let's go. Yes. Where are we going? Shaking your head as you snap out of your trance. You carefully close the hatch through which you just climbed onto the roof. After that, you turn back to Katie, ready to follow her. Katie begins to walk cautiously forward across the slippery roof covered in snow and ice. You follow her, watching your step carefully and occasionally. This is Murdrone's first encounter. This is Planetfall, which is like the first chapter. I played the prologue a while ago. It was good. And occasionally casting worried glances at your friend. You are ready to grab her and catch her if she suddenly loses her footing or slips, but there's no need for that. To be honest, it is more that you need outside help to safely navigate this improvised obstacle course. Unexpected patches of ice hidden beneath the snow, protruding debris here and there, and stretched cables. Walking on this roof is not only exhausting but dangerous. Finally, you reach your destination. A large section of the roof free from snow and ice. Thick white steam rises from several ventilation shafts. Hot air from the workshops escapes here, warming the entire surrounding area. Alright. The steam rises in a dense column vertically, gradually thinning and dissolving into the air. Katie sits down right on the roof and stretches out her legs. Then casts a question look to you and yeah, alright. Oh, hi. There's a scroll now. You feel slightly dizzy, but you'll pull yourself together and move closer to Katie, sitting down beside her. You're so... Oh, okay. To curb the sudden storm of emotions rush, you quickly shift your gaze to the sky. For a while, you both remain silent, looking upward. Finally, Katie breaks silence. It's so quiet and peaceful here. Not at all like down there. Yeah. You reply slowly. The discovery of ours regarding the company's ships has turned everything upside down. It's complete madness. Didn't I see a ship passing overhead, last time? Like when I finished the last one? Your discovery. Katie turns her head toward you, a small, proud smile appearing on her face. I had nothing to do with it. No, ours, you repeat stubbornly, also lowering your gaze to her. A small wave of dizziness hits you again. You were there and you supported me at the moment of watching everything. Hold on, do I have, I do not. Where is that? Chat box. Okay, now it's starting to... Ooh. No, don't do that. Oh. Now it's wide. No, don't do it again. Don't want that. Okay, so chat box is... Oh wait, that's why you can't see it. Okay, it's now over the display capture. Move it over and down a bit. Okay, now is it working? Just gonna... Is it working? It is working. Hooray. Oh, I see why I put it off to the side. Cool, you can actually see the chat now. I think. Yep, you can see the chat now. Sweet. Okay. Where was I? Katie doesn't respond to your last remark and watches you silently for a while, intently, as if evaluating you. You feel that for some reason you can't bear her gaze and shift your gaze back to the saving sky. Very glad you agreed to come here. You sit in silence for a while, watching the sky. You notice that Katie occasionally steals glances at you. Finally, the silence is broken by a question. What do you think about the return of humanity? You turn your head toward Katie and look directly into her eyes. From the looks of it, this isn't just an idle question to keep the conversation going. She's genuinely interested in knowing your answer. And you are interested in knowing it yourself. You dreamed of contact with humans for a very long time, imagining in the smallest details how it happened, what the humans would say and what you would say. But now that is no longer just pleasant fantasies, but an objective reality. You've begun to feel uncertain. What if everything goes completely different than you thought? Yeah, that tends to be how reality works. You shrug hesitantly. Over the last few days, you've heard so many things, so many other workers' perspectives, that you no longer know how to feel about the human's return. It has exhausted you so much that you decided not to think about it at all. I don't know. Your voice sounds very hollowed and detached. Yes, it was a long-time dream, but all these conversations from the other workers, and all these terrifying stories about humans, I don't know what to think. It's not easy, is it? A sympathetic smile appears on Katie's face. I'm so sorry to hear that. I always admired your passion for humans, and I can't help but respect how fervently you gave yourself to this work. I have not heard that before. Building an entire antenna is no joke. Don't let the other workers extinguish that in you. You feel a lump in your throat. This unexpected support from Katie made you blush. Suddenly you realize how anxious and tense you've been all these days. Nice. And those warm words made you feel if only a little lighter. Thank Katie. You try hardest to say clearly rather than mumbling under your breath. I really appreciate it. There's no need to thank me. Katie suddenly lifts her hand and places it over yours. She flips slightly at the unexpected touch, your eyes widening in surprise. Katie looks straight at you, inquisitively, slightly uncertain. It's as if she doesn't know herself if she's doing the right thing, or if she's crossing a line. Her pink eyes watch you intently, waiting for your reaction. Okay. You feel a sudden wave of heat from Katie's touch. You realize you are blushing desperately and that you are unable to control it. Nice. These new unfamiliar sensations are so frightening that your first almost instinctive reaction is the desire to pull your hand away. With an almost incredible effort to wheel, you leave your hand as is. You raise a slightly hopeless gaze towards Katie and notice that she is also flushed slightly. The observation makes you feel a little better. You aren't the only one feeling awkward in this situation. As a hesitant smile appears at the corner of your mouth. Katie seems to notice it and begins to slowly tilt her head toward you. Another wave of heat washes over you, stronger than the last. You desperately want to pull your hand away, to pull back, to end this paralyzing awkwardness, but at the same time, more than anything in the world, you want to be right here. I didn't know where this was going. Katie's face ends up very close to yours. It's so close that you can see every pixel of her pink eyes. What resolution would their screens be in? No, like, genuinely, what would the resolution on their screens be? Katie blinks shyly a few times and slowly rests her head on your shoulder. That's a lot. Sit perfectly still, afraid to even budge. A landslide of emotions, unknown to you until now, but pleasant, washes over you. You feel the weight of Katie's head on your shoulder, her pink hair brushing against your cheek. Was any of this in Chapter 0? I do not remember. I do not remember this. And not this, like, specifically. But, like, either of these two being into each other. You sit like this in silence for 7 minutes. People were right. There really is something to this. Katie's hesitant voice breaks the silence. What do you mean? Okay, cool, I can still read it from you. I saw this gesture from humans. It's described in several books and movies, usually between characters of feelings for each other. Katie hesitates for a second. Warm feelings. I first thought it was a rather strange way to show them, but now I admit I was wrong. There really is something to it. Thank you for finding out about it, and thank you for... You suddenly fall silent, trying to find the right words. You desperately want to tell Katie something warm, something pleasant, something that'll make her smile. When do I start dying? Because I've been told there were multiple ways to die in this game, and I have yet to realize any of them. I'm probably going to run into quite a few. But you realize that your vocabulary simply isn't enough right now. You've never felt anything like this before, and you cannot put your feeling into words. Don't mention it, Katie answers serenely. You lower your head on top of Katie. She moves a little closer to you. Sit in silence for a while longer. Oh, I thought the sentence was going to continue. You know, maybe you're right. I still don't know how to pronounce this name. Artyom. Yep, that works. Artyom. Katie says softly. I was told there were going to be multiple deaths in this game. Katie says softly, almost in a whisper. If people were like that, then they can't be outright villains, right? Some of them definitely were. Probably, given that they made us like them. They must have felt similar things too. I think so. Do you think two humans ever sat here? Katie's voice takes on a dreamy expression, just like us, before the catastrophe, I mean. You know, I don't think any humans would be sitting here after the planet blew up, but... I don't know, but I really want to believe they did. You continue to sit on the roof in silence, enjoying each other's company. You've completely lost track of time. At one point, it even feels as though time has stopped altogether, and you have entered your own personal paradise. An endless moment filled with only warmth and joy. But at some point, Katie gently pulls away and shifts slightly. You both share a faint smile. Words were hardly I love English. Words were hardly needed. Then, almost in unison, you look up at the starry sky, the sole witness to your... Oh, nice. Okay, they made it official. Nice. The sole witness to your date. Do you want to talk about anything? Katie says slowly, turning her interested gaze back towards you. I think overall, talking about someone that is right here feels a bit weird. So we're gonna go with option 2. What else is there to talk about? Katie started your conversation by asking about your feelings regarding the return of humans, and that is a very interesting question that could be asked of every drone in your colony, perhaps even on the entire planet. Don't you know what they're saying in the colony about the humans returning? You say with feigned indifference. In reality, you're incredibly interested in this topic, but you're trying to sound calm about it. Haven't you heard? The hallways are buzzing with talk about it. Katie raised an eyebrow in surprise. And don't even get me started on the storm online. Excuse me. To be honest, I haven't heard. You say shaking your head in disappointment. All the drones in the colony have now split into two types. Some fall silent in fear when I approach, and others stare enthusiastically and take photos of me in secret. But neither group will strike up a conversation. As for the internet, I just closed my account because after my post I was flooded with absolutely insane number of comments, so now I'm dying to know what people think, but I can't find out. Ah yes, these people still have internet. That's fun. I understand. A sympathetic smile appears on Katie's face. It's hard being famous, isn't it? I didn't do it for the fame. You blush. You know that perfectly well. I know, I was just joking. As for your question, yes, they're saying a lot. And they're saying all sorts of things. To be honest, I'm not sure you'll like my answer. Sure you want to hear it? Yeah, sure. Yes, I want to know. I was about to start, like, nodding a lot. And then I was like, oh wait, I don't have a face cam. Oh well. Well, alright, Katie says, spreading her arms. The overwhelming majority of drones are certain that humans will make us work for them again, and everything will go back to how it was. I mean, like, before the catastrophe. Given that our class is currently the only conscious generation of drones that hasn't seen humans, it's a logical progression of events. I see, you say, sounding slightly disappointed. The drones are discussing what the restoration of... Oh, I didn't realize how long the scroll was. Oh, hi. Of the complex might look like. Who could be sent where to work. Some are thinking of plans on how to end up at the same facility. Men are discussing the upcoming work, recalling technological processes and safety procedures. I would characterize what's happening in one word. Acceptance. And that's it. No one's discussing the humans themselves. No one's talking about how we will build our relationships with them. A guilty expression appears on Katie's face. She raises her hand and brushes away a pink strand of hair that fell over her eyes. To be honest, no. It seems to me that you're the only one thinking about that possibility at all. Everyone else is absolutely certain everything will go back to how it was. I see. You feel hollow. Katie's answer wasn't a surprise to you. You had already heard something similar in snippets of conversations. But receiving another confirmation of your own strangeness was unpleasant. Besides, you're beginning to fear more and more that everyone else is right and you're not. I'm so sorry, Artyom. God, it's a weird name. I'll figure out how to pronounce it eventually. Or I did before and just forgot. It's okay. You say in a tone that makes it clear that everything is not okay. Anything else? Yes, our colony is discussing the immediate plan of action for the day of the Planetfall. You want to hear it? Interesting. Yeah, sure, why not? What's the plan, you ask? Now, the whole planet knows the approximate location and time of the spacecraft landing next to you, and from what I understand, one of the ships will land near our colony, somewhere between our factory and that colony in the bunker. About a half-hour's walk. Yes, the nearest ship will be right there. You say, looking up as you recall the coordinates you calculated earlier. Exactly. Many drones are planning to go there and meet the people immediately after landing. There's no specific plan of action, but the drones want to show the humans that we aren't afraid of them and are in hiding. That we are happy to see them again and ready to continue working. Okay. I just figured out what... Okay. I was very confused where the talk about the humans came from. And I just realized that no, those are the murder drone ships. Not they think humans are arriving in the ships when okay. Are they really happy? Oh, and are they really happy? You ask skeptically. Well, not exactly. Katie looks away. From what I gather, they mostly just don't want to anger the humans. They want to show submission and obedience right away. Katie's last words cut through you like a knife. You flinch sharply and inhale through clenched teeth. Katie recoils slightly and looks at you with fear. Are you okay? Yeah. You take several deep breaths to calm down. Let's move on. Sorry. Some drones decided to stay in the colony. Katie continues, a hint of apprehension in her voice. There won't be that much space at the landing site. Plus, drones from other colonies will probably come here too. There's a concern that everyone simply won't fit. That's why many will meet the people at the factory instead. I see. Thanks for telling me, Katie. You cover your eyes with your hand for a second. Don't mention it. You process the information you just heard. Submission and obedience, huh? Apparently, you were sorely mistaken about the elders' attitude toward the humans. And what are you supposed to do on the day of the planetfall? Until now, you were sure you would go to the nearest landing site and meet the people in the front rows. Now, you aren't so sure. Don't overthink it, Artyom. I'm gonna continue to pronounce this guy's name in so many different ways. Katie's voice breaks the silence. I'm sure everything won't go too badly. Besides, we're powerless to change anything anyway. That's a comforting thought. Probably. You're right. You say reluctantly. Let's change the subject and talk about something else. So you would have ended up talking about something, both of them either way. Okay. We're over here now. Oh, hi. You know, one of these isn't quite like the other. The topic of conversation immediately comes to mind. Katie herself. You realize with frustration and dissatisfaction that you don't know that much about her. For all the time you've been friends and talking, you've only discussed superficial, unimportant things. When else is the time for a heart-to-heart if not right here and right now? You know, I thought this man knew stuff about her. Oh well, yes. I'd like to talk about, you say slowly, trying to keep your voice calm. About you. About me? A surprised expression appears on Katie's face. Yes, we've known each other for so long, since birth, but I've only just realized that I've never asked you about so many different things. Alright, let's start from the beginning. Katie says, adjusting her green hoodie and neatly folding her hands on her lap. My name is Katie Green. Don't joke around. You interrupt quickly. I'm serious, by the way. A sly smirk appears on Katie's face, but it vanishes immediately after your last phrase. Serious? What do you want to talk about? You begin to quickly run through everything you know about Katie in her head. She's into plants, a very unusual hobby for a drone, especially one living on a dying planet. Lately, she's been talking about her parents often. Painful off topic for you, but as if it were important to her. And then there's the hoodie. Your recent gift. You haven't asked why she hasn't taken it off since. Oh, okay. I want to talk about plants. That sounds cool. You're into plants, aren't you? We don't talk about it that often. It's rather an unusual hobby. Tell me more? Yes, I am. I don't know what about them, but they attract me. Katie's face takes on a slightly dreamy expression. Maybe it's because of how different we are from them. We are products of human manufacture, made of metal and plastic. Intelligent, but not completely unrelated to nature. What could be the most unlike us if not plants? Nothing, probably. I haven't looked at it from that perspective. Exactly. Humans like plants too, by the way. You can find a million confirmations that they grew plants indoors and even in their homes. And not just for food, but just because, for their beauty. Those houseplants were too small to produce enough oxygen for human respiration, so they definitely weren't used for that. I'd love to have a houseplant too. Yeah, sorry, but I don't think this planet's quite suitable to have any sort of plant life. Saying the last phrase, Katie's face suddenly fell. You notice a very familiar emotion on her face with surprise. An unattainable longing for an impossible dream. Just as you dreamed of contact with humans, so too did Katie dream of seeing a living green plant. But all the flora and fauna perished after the planet's core detonated, didn't they? You say cautiously. Exactly. Katie's force, yes, that is 100% correct. Katie's voice carries a note of annoyance, so my dreams are destined to remain just that, dreams. Even if we manage to find some seeds somewhere, there's no untainted soil or water left on this planet to grow them. There's only one exception. What? The trees near Camp 98.7. They say that someone managed to survive the blast waves, the toxic precipitation, the sharp drop in temperature. I have no idea how they managed to adapt to all of it. I've wanted to get there and see them in person for a long time, but I kept putting off the trip, and now it seems I'll never make it. Katie falls silent and looks sadly at her feet. That anxious feeling of approaching changes washes over you again. Not for the first time in recent days. How many more things like this will never happen because of the upcoming planetfall? It's like, does planetfall means the planet gonna blow up? Come on. Maybe it's not all lost yet. Who knows? Maybe I'll manage to see him. Katie turns her head toward you, a sad smile on her face. How do you imagine that happening? Humans are coming back in a couple days. So what? Even if they make us work for them again, every worker's entitled to a day off. Human workers. We aren't humans, Artyom. You feel a wave of despair wash over your body. Absolutely, all the senior workers who lived through the time of the humans said they treated drones like disposable materials. Those stories filled you with horror. You simply couldn't believe that such a thing was possible. And you had desperately tried to convince yourself that it wasn't true. But what if it is true? Then it's just some huge misunderstanding. What if you just explain to the humans that drones have thoughts and feelings too? Oh, trust me, that's not going to affect a lot of them. Yes, we aren't humans, but you pause for a moment. We are not at all any less than humans. We're also sentient and alive, even if we were manufactured in a factory. I hope the humans will be able to see and understand that, and they'll start to treat us as their own kind. And they'll give us a day off so we can go to Camp 98.7 and see those trees. Katie watches you in silence for a while, her sad smile widening slightly. I also hope that's exactly how it happens. Thank you. You sit in silence for a couple minutes until Katie finally shakes her head. Alright, there's no point in worrying about what we can't change anyway. So, like, the thing about asking her why she hasn't taken the hoodie off is that, I also never take my hoodie off. So it's like, not taking a hoodie off is kind of normal to me. So that's definitely going to be the last one. You said you were with your parents today, right? You begin cautiously. Parents and family are a painful subject for you, so you would really rather not have to answer such a question yourself. But you have already realized that Katie's relationship with her parents is very different from your own. As surprising as it may seem to you, she actually enjoys talking to them and spending time with them. Maybe she'll enjoy talking about them too? Yes, they insisted that I didn't go to school today and that we all spent time together. Kitty nods calmly in response to your question because, well, you know how it is. And what did you do? Did you go somewhere or just talk? Or mostly we just walked around the colony and the factory. My parents told me about how they worked there when people were still alive. They showed me where everything was, what the rules were like, and all that. Then they told me about how they lived here in the first time after the catastrophe. Judging by their stories, it was a very interesting time. Human control vanished, everything suddenly collapsed, and what didn't collapse changed beyond recognition. And then you had to decide how to live on. I can't imagine, to be honest. I mean, I know the history perfectly well, but it still doesn't make sense in my head. I probably wouldn't have handled it. You would have handled it perfectly, Artyom. Don't sell yourself short. A smile appears on Katie's face for a second. But yes, judging by my parents' stories, it was a difficult time. All their lives, they were certain they would spend the rest of their days as obedient workers, following human orders. And then this incredible, unthinkable, vast freedom fell upon them. At this moment, you can't help but admire Katie. When she started talking about freedom, her face took on such an inspired, joyful expression that you felt a surge of spiritual uplift yourself. Her pink eyes seemed to shine with some inner light, an incredible brightness that no monitor could ever convey. Could this be the very soul that humans claim to possess? There is more. Suddenly, this bright spark of hope and inspiration flickers out. As if someone flipped a switch, Katie sharply drops her head and looks away. I hope we'll be able to spend time together once the people return. My parents said that the worker drones had little free time for charging and self-maintenance, where they could rest and socialize. But there's always the risk that someone might be transferred to another workshop or even a different facility. We'll figure something out, you say in a firm tone. If we explain everything to them, they will respect our rights. Are you sure about that? We'll make them do it. Katie unexpectedly turns around and looks at you with surprised interest. To be honest, you're shocked by your own last words. They sounded so resolute and cold. I've never heard you like that, Artyom. An uncertain smile appears at the corner of Katie's mouth. But if we had to choose someone to represent us for the humans, I would choose you. You feel yourself blushing. Was that a joke or a compliment? Or was this said completely seriously? After all, you've mentioned before that we'll need to talk to the humans to explain drones' fears and wishes. But someone specific has to do it, right? Don't worry, I didn't mean that you're obligated to do it now, Katie, apparently noticing your embarrassment adds. It's just that you sound so authoritative, it just occurred to me. Thanks for the compliment, I never thought I could sound authoritative. You certainly can. You just love downplaying your own merits. You cast a surprised glance at Katie, and she simply waves her hand in response. Let's move on. I don't think you're ready to talk about that right now. Did you want to ask anything else? The hoodie. Yeah, I wanted to ask about your hoodie. You've been wearing it ever since Yes, ever since you gave it to me, that's right. It's my favorite piece of clothing. Thanks so much, Artyom. Thank you again. Katie lowers her gaze at the green hoodie and slowly runs her hand along the sleeve. You feel joy and embarrassment at the same time. Of course, you're very pleased with how much Katie likes your gift, but now it begins to seem that it's not so much about the gift itself as it is about the giver. I'm very glad you like it. You try to look at Katie instead of averting your eyes. I just didn't expect you to like it this much. What's so strange about that? Green's my favorite color. It reminds me of plant foliage. The flower embroidery and this... I don't know. That looks like it says Becca, but I highly doubt that's what it says. Actually, I'm gonna check real quick. Boom, boom. Okay, got it. I actually have to go to the thing. English, Russian. Haha! I thought it was Russian. Anyways, sorry. It means spring, right? Katie's face takes on a dreamy expression. This time of year when nature comes to life, when the grass sprouts and leaves appear on the trees. I wish I could see spring just once more. At the last phrase, Katie suddenly grows sad. All you can do is shake your head sympathetically. Archive data suggests that even before the explosion of Copper-9's core, it wasn't the most flourishing planet. And now that the cycle of the seasons has been destroyed completely and irrevocably, do you think the planet will ever be able to recover? I'm gonna be an optimist in this connect scenario. I think so. You nod affirmatively a few times, an encouraging smile appearing on your face. We went over what the long-suffering Earth has gone through in history class. This isn't the first time humans have messed up on a massive scale, but life always finds a way to fix everything. The sadness on Katie's face shifts into a dreamy expression. She shifts her gaze towards the sky. I hope you're right. It's a good thing that drones don't age and can't die of old age. Technically, wouldn't they be able to? Because they, like, rust? Although I guess if you took good enough care, you wouldn't rust, so... Yeah. If the return of humans doesn't turn to another catastrophe, maybe we'll still see spring on Copper-9. You also shift your gaze to the sky. Spring. What does it look like? You've seen a few photographs taken by humans in the past. In them, there's no snow on the ground, and a few trees timidly turn green in tiny parks between the high-rises. A completely unimaginable sight. Thanks for the support, Artyom. Katie pulls her gaze away from the satellite in the sky and shifts to you. Did you want to ask anything else? You know, I think I did hear... Okay. Did I say something wrong? What? I have no idea. Anyway, let's talk about some humans. The next question comes to your mind almost instantly. You could talk about this topic for hours on end. What do you think about the return of the humans? You ask this with a slight smile on your face, but it vanishes instantly when you see Katie's reaction. She suddenly flinches, a flash of fear appearing in her eyes for a second before she looks away. I knew you were going to ask that. Well, I'm glad your dream came true. Katie mutters uncertainly under her breath, still not meeting your eyes. And I think it's a huge event for the entire planet. You realize that something is wrong. It's obvious that Katie's uncomfortable talking about the subject. You feel like she's literally forcing herself to keep speaking, but at the same time she's dodging the question without ever giving you an answer. You get a vague premonition that you won't like her answer. Yeah, no, we're good. She doesn't want to answer it, so... You don't have to answer my question if you don't want to. You say slowly, looking Katie straight in the eyes. I can see how hard this is for you. I have a feeling that your answer will only upset me. Katie looks at you with a surprised expression. But how so? This is important to you. If you know it'll upset you, why don't you... Because I know that you're my friend, and no matter what you say, I know that you're still on my side. Katie looks at you for a few seconds. You notice tears in the corner of her eyes. Suddenly, she throws herself forward and pulls you into an embrace. Thank you, Artyom. Thank you, too. You reply, hugging her back. You're sitting on the roof in each other's arms. It feels as if time has stopped and the surrounding world has ceased to exist. Right here and right now, there's only you, Katie, this roof, and the bottomless starry sky above your heads. Let's hope the return of the people changes nothing. Oh, that was the... Oh. Maybe I read something wrong. Either way, that was short. Huh. That didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would to complete.